Hey, everybody. Today we're talking about attracting your target market with the posts that you write. This is another question that came through the community, and I'm very excited to cover this because it's a really strategic answer that a lot of people don't really think about. So, if you are trying to attract your ideal target market with the content that you put out, stick around.
You're listening to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast.
Welcome to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast. And now your host, Meliss Jakubovic.
Okay, so creating content is a really important part to attracting your ideal target market. It's one of the many things that you need to be doing daily to get the visibility that you need to build the expertise and the authority and to show people that you really know what you're talking about. And the best way to do that is to call out your audience and really hone in on what they're going through and what they need, what they're struggling with, and what they're looking for as the solution. And before I go any further, I want to invite you guys to my 5-day free challenge group that's coming up. And we're going to be talking about this in the challenge group, thanksfortheclients.com. It starts on August 3rd, so go check it out. So we're going to go into more detail about content during that challenge group. But just to get you started here, the first thing I want you to think about is the objections that you hear. The objections are things that people say to you all the time on maybe sales calls or on your content when they're responding to you that makes you feel like they might not be ready, or they're hesitant, or they have some limiting beliefs or blocks that they need to overcome before working with you. Sometimes it's around their time, other times it's around money, and sometimes it's just about effort or their mindset. And so if you know that these are common objections that you hear, a great time to pull the objections out is in your content so that people already know you are trying to pull out the objections from them and have them overcome some things before they even go to the next step with you, like having a conversation. So for example, I just posted some content earlier a couple of weeks ago about my time being very valuable because I had several discovery calls a couple of weeks prior to that where people booked a time with me on my calendar. I have a very busy schedule. People have to book sometimes 2 or 2.5 weeks in advance to have even a discovery call with me. And I like to make sure that I'm filling those discovery calls up with people who are a good fit for working with me so that I'm not wasting my time and I can truly help people because the right people that I help are attracted to me and coming to me for help. So I try to make sure my calendar is full with people who are really a good fit. And several of those people did not show up for their calls. They booked the calls in advance and then they were a no-show. Now, being a no-show from their perspective might be like no big deal. I didn't feel like showing up today, whatever. But from my perspective, it was really upsetting because there are so many other people that are trying to get a call with me and they could not come in on that time because that time was blocked and reserved for this person. Not only that, because I'm so strategic with my time, I have 2 kids, I'm a single mom, and it's summertime. I want to plan activities out with the family. I set certain hours for business and certain hours for free time. And sometimes I'll have a call early in the morning, and I actually wake up earlier than I would have if I didn't have the call. Or maybe I want to go to the park or the pool with my kids at, let's say, noon, but I book a call for noon. So I tell my kids, we're going to go at 1 o'clock. And if I didn't have a call, I might want to go at noon. Or maybe there's somebody who really wants to talk to me. They really want to get in my program and they're searching my calendar, looking for a time, and they have to book 2.5 weeks out because everything else is booked. And then this person doesn't show up. And I've either gotten the kids situated and entertained, doing something so I can hop on a call, or I've set my whole morning routine up early to make sure I get on the call, or maybe I didn't get to go do the family activity earlier like I wanted to do because I said, sorry guys, we can't go, I have to work. And then I didn't have to work. And maybe that call was in between two other calls and I could have moved something up forward so I could do something with the kids. I hope you understand what I'm saying. My time is valuable. And if they don't show up, we will never work together. I actually have a very strict policy for cancellation and rescheduling, and that's I need a 24-hour notice. And if you don't show up, we will never work together because you don't respect my time and you don't show up. And if you don't show up, there's no way you're going to work through my program, which is all about showing up and having an intense introduction into how to up-level your business and scale it. And if you don't show up, there's no point, right? So I already know there is a misalignment with the no-shows. So I did a post for content about how my time is valuable, why it's so important to show up as a person in your business. I talk about how scheduling my time is very strategic and it's like a puzzle, putting all the pieces in together, and careful planning goes into that. And showing up and honoring your scheduled commitments is part of being successful. That's why doctors' offices charge a no-show fee if you fail to give them any notice. And I feel that what I do is very valuable, and therefore that is an objection or a limiting belief that someone who has to work with me needs to understand before they work with me. So I created a piece of content about it. So that's why I have my pieces of content that explain what my audience needs to know about me before they get to that stage of working with me or even just hopping on the call. So call out objections. That's a great way to write posts that attract your target market and also repel the people you don't want. That's one thing I want you to remember. You do want to attract your tribe, but you also want the people who are not your tribe to kind of fall to the wayside. And that is a good way to know. I post this thing about respecting my time. If I piss anyone off with that, guess what? They're not going to be attracted to me. And that's okay because those are the people I'm trying to repel. Also, another piece of content that you can write is talking about the fears that they have and that they express to you. So you have to go through this journey and understand your customer's journey and what fears they have around what it is you do that you solve. So when you call out those fears in your content, you're already kind of setting the stage for what it's about. So if you're a health coach, for example, and you help people lose, 50 pounds in however much time by doing strategic meal planning and changing the nutrients and the level of nutrients that they're taking in and the exercise that they're doing and just restructuring their day, then that might be very scary for someone who's overweight, who knows they need to lose the weight, but is scared about everything that it entails and the time commitment. And they feel like they may fail because they've tried other things before and they haven't been successful. So they go in with this feeling of fear. It's time to fill your programs. When I say fill your programs, I mean making more sales, getting more leads, having consistent income. In my upcoming free 5-day challenge called Thanks for the Clients Challenge Group, my team and I are going to show you how to fill your programs, make more sales, and get you in front of your tribe. And I'm not charging you a penny for it. We meet daily at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central, 10 a.m. Pacific, and 5 p.m. GMT from August 3rd to August 7th. Everything we are showing you is to help you scale your business this year. Register now at thanksfortheclients.com. So if you're a health coach, a great piece of content for you to write about is this fear. Hey, I know that you guys have this fear. Call them out on it. I've felt that before. This is why this is different. This is why it won't seem like you're walking up an uphill battle. This is why it's going to be easy and smooth sailing because I've created all these systems. I've planned all these things out for you. I'm literally going to give you my meal plans. I'm going to help you go to the grocery store. I'm going to teach you about the grocery store and nutrients and whatever it is. So making a post about their fears and where they are in their customer journey is going to ease their fears and it's going to attract them to you. And another thing that you can write about is how you can alter their mindset before they need to work with you. And so that's similar to what we're talking about here, but So, for example, if you're a healer and you help people who need healing from emotional trauma, but they've never heard of a healer before, they don't know what a healer is, they're not really into energy and they're not really into spirituality, it's your job to introduce them into this way of life and into this style of thinking. Then you need to shift their mindset before they're willing to work with you. Because if you are an energy healer, you need people who understand what energy healing is and understand its benefits and why it's so important and how it's very different from all other types of healing modalities. So if you're an energy healer, something that you can write about on your social media that attracts your ideal target market is that mindset shift that someone needs to go through, maybe to shift their ideas of traditional Western medicine into maybe Chinese medicine or into balancing chakras or into energy healing or whatever it is. So if you're writing content about that mindset shift, now you've shifted their way that they're thinking so that they are in line with what you need before they get to you, what you need out of them before they get to you. So you're not really going to hop on the phone call with someone who's like, yeah, right, energy, whatever. What are you even talking about? Because you're not going to be able to say, oh, let's do this. You're not going to be able to close the sale because they're so far away from where you need them to be before you're even starting to talk about what you offer. But if you have content that's constantly changing their mindset around energy healing and the benefits and why it's so different and why it's so good, now they've kind of been indoctrinated into your mentality, into your mindset, into your way of doing things. And now they might get on the call with you because they now start to believe what you are teaching. And then once they're on the call, you can say, all right, you already know why it's so good for you. You've been following me for a long time and I've been posting about it for a long time. Now let's get on it and close the sale that way. So content is a really, really important and strategic way to attract your target market and to repel the people who are not in your tribe. So I want you to get into the minds of your target market and reach them through your content. And that is the way that you're going to build a really solid tribe of followers who want more and more and more of what you're offering. All right, I hope this helps, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast at www.marketingtipswithmeliss.com.
Hey, coaches and healers, it's time to feel supported in your business. Head on over to our free community to get access to my best resources for free. I'm talking marketing tips, business strategy, feedback, and so much more. Join now at magneticmarketingmastermind.com. See you there.